Welcome back to Zane's Touching Lives. Our next story celebrates initiative and the will to forge on in spite of the odds. Take a look at this.
The 2010 World Cup is virtually on our doorstep. In football, the nation's passion is the word on everyone's lips. But soon the nation will have another passion, trust me, involving speed, skills, and acrobatics. We'll talk to Alberta Frimpong, who will tell us about her brother and his audacity of hope and faith.
The Frimpong family have spent many years living in different parts of Africa. Living abroad has brought the family close together. Alberta is now a seamstress living with her mother in the suburb of Labone in Accra and has decided to nominate her twin brother, Albert.
Good afternoon, Albert.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Tell me about Albert.
Albert is part of me, and I love him so much. Although I have 4 other brothers, if I'm to give someone something, the first person will be Albert.
I see.
And I always say that any woman who marries him, I'm okay with it. But you touch Albert, you touch me.
Whoa. Which of the two of you is the oldest?
I'm the oldest. I'm older than Albert by 42 minutes. I always tease him with it.
How does it feel to be a twin?
I'm very proud. Even if I'm asked to die for him, I'll do it. Because we both came from the same womb.
Why did you nominate Albert?
Because Albert has done a whole lot. You know, when we were way back in Congo, Albert will bring these local boys to our house. And my mommy too, she's very generous. She cooks a lot. So she cook and lay the table, and we all sit down and eat. We eat together, we never discriminate, because we're all created by one person, and no one is above the other. So Albert too is that type of person. He goes all out. If it is his last 1 cedi, he'll give it to you and go and eat Gary. He's so generous.
Albert and Alberta inherited their caring nature from their benevolent mother.
Ma, how did Albert get into skate soccer?
Albert said to me one day, Mommy, I've seen these cripples on the road, and the way they follow cars, I fear for them. Then he came back and said, Mommy, I think I can help them. I can put them together to make them a team. So I said, okay, go all out. You know I will support you. So he started. He wants to let people see that these people, the cripples, they are also human beings. So now, if they see me on the road, they call me Mama, Mama, and it makes me happy. Because before they didn't know me, and I didn't know them. But because of Albert, I now know them and call them my children. And I thank Albert for doing that for them. And I hope he will have help so that he will also help them to make them feel wanted, loved.
Street life is harsh, especially for the physically challenged. Every day is a battle to survive. You've got to look after yourself, and it seems that no one really cares. Albert, however, is someone who really cares and actually is trying to help these guys from the streets.
Hello, Albert.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. So tell me about this sporting project that you've got.
This project is actually a nice thing I had planned long ago for a group of physically challenged. Seeing them in traffic all the time made me feel that these people can easily die trying to make a living. Why don't we channel their energy into something positive? So I said we'd let them do 2 things, soccer and races. Then I found out that there was a large group around Accra who were interested in playing, and also found out it was played in Nigeria. So I said, why don't we take it serious here?
How long have you had this project?
Well, a little over a year now.
What's the nature of their disabilities?
A large proportion of the people we have were born with polio.
What is skate soccer?
Skate soccer is basically soccer, But this kind of soccer is played by a group of physically challenged people sitting on locally made skateboards.
How do you get the players?
Fortunately, a large number of them live at the same place. Some live in Accra, where we train, and others live in Zongo, near the Kolebu area.
Tell me about the area where you train.
In Accra, it's between UTC and the Commercial Bank, just behind the SIC wall. It's a small taxi rank that's very busy on normal days, but Sundays, it's not busy, so.
Why did you choose that place in particular?
You know, you have a lot of people passing on Sundays to go do shopping. Since this is new and very attractive, you see people wanting to stop and see what it is. And luckily, we have a lot of support there.
How do you fund this skate soccer?
I've had to fund it personally. And sometimes I get help from my boss and a few friends around. But 80% of everything comes from myself. Today, when we closed from training, each and everyone was bringing their demands.
What are some of the things they demand for?
Daily bread. My daughter is not feeling well today. We don't have food to eat at home. I need transport to go here. My skate is broken. I need to replace the tire. The jerseys, some have been stolen. We need to replace. The one who washes, he hasn't been paid for about 2 times. These little things. And when you put it all together, it amounts to huge sums of money.
Do the players not do anything besides playing this skate soccer?
They do the begging, but it's getting tough on the streets. The police are getting them off the streets, so it's getting tough. A car knocked one of them some time ago, but I left him in the hospital and I had to run and leave him there. Not because I was wicked, but because the money they were asking for could take care of the whole squad for about 3 months. Another one is in the hospital as we speak. Run down by another car last week.
On the streets begging?
On the street begging. Every week there's a problem.
But what's your objective for wanting to help?
The objective is to get them off the streets, become popular stars, take care of their families, have little small-scale businesses to live on so that they don't have to always beg. I want them to also become happy people like us.
Being in the team gives the guys a sense of unity and purpose. You can feel it as they roll together.
Last time, maybe you were work, you're sliding. I'm not in a taxi, you're on the side. But you're not say, why didn't you pay maybe? So, yeah, place, but you knew your overboard. So, go to our boy and Cotedia. Chombo Buen, Nancy Tim want to maintain because our you to me about born or a fake. And to say to me, be over Buen, a young bachin, as any time because skating say I am eto. Or even the crowd war pair, Yan Canada, Yato. And then the Madini, I want you away aside. And see any more when that young bachin, Thierry your manager also, no problem about war.
It's a taxi one, we shall win a casa.
I know 2 more minutes telephone and it's Sunday you better than a friend also waba. It's my man, and see one in the waba. And to be after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're going to Jesse. Also now to board different Adaba and you don't know. Channel opinion no below 2 and 1 point.
And this is our witness.
First no by not about Sunday beer, Yabo Lubia, or my Bidiani, but a treno, I say no more idea, Amam, and dinner Amam, on ya. My blessing, maybe I'm a papa.
I don't know, Papa.
You don't know on your mind. And I will be all on back any year no more. So Sunday knows when Timon call, final one. Once a day, I want you to be about.
You know, you know, you advance, all but I'm on Brandon said, may pay our source on Suyaman.
In person, I'm practicing
once a week.
I didn't hear.
Baby training and intra. And I train once. And I can pack, I say, impact me and I can my training because of my own time 3 or 4 the American training.
Nahina Muchi
Liberty House, taxi rank 1.
The match is very amable.
The first match, I go born or country. Alberta organization. Or inviting people mostly minimum your quamba. And see a man, no more year demand. The second match is so the born away a friend say, or Henry John. Your name, Nigeria for. I'm a mission 7-0. But the Ampaba still a training now.
But then I skate soccer nepe.
Okay, send you come a penny there. Our young one there, star, you know, Blasters will be out. But if you don't see it, I don't know power. Because you know that actually be
World Cup never happened. Why didn't you say?
me I'm on my umbrellas, Ghana Blasters. The bomb is the first in the day. The big Ghana there.
Who go straight for the cup?
Yeah, me there. Because me a skate so can I get me one vim. Say get so people. You be deep kunim. This answer na me the tab Blaster.
What are the things that you need?
We need more skates for them, elbow pads, gloves, balls, jerseys. We need financial support because we're going to have to take on more people to help us expand. This team is a national team, as we call them. And the very best exposure we had was bringing in the team from Nigeria to play them. Though Ghana lost totally, it was a plus for us because we managed to get them to play in another country. And luckily, by the grace of God, we hope to go to Nigeria in February next year.
Tell me about this tour that you're planning for February.
It's going to be, I think, in the second week of February. I told them last week, I am selecting 12 players and 2 goalkeepers, or maybe we'll take more, but I need to put some fear in them. So I said I'm taking only 10 players. We have spoken to a coach from the Ghana Football Association, Coach Otia Kente, and he's willing to come and help us so that Nigerians will have a surprise when they see us in February.
Do you have funding in place?
No, not yet.
Oh dear.
Not yet.
Where would you like to see skate soccer go in the future?
In the future, I would like to see skate soccer go beyond the shores of Ghana into the international standard. I mean, where we can have a skate soccer World Cup. That's what I foresee. Now, it's my prayer that it happens.
Isn't that amazing? With a can-do attitude, Albert's faith in his team and their courage against all overwhelming odds can only be an inspiration to all of us.
Join me to welcome on stage Ghana's next skate soccer champion. You know, our national soccer team is called the Black Stars. The national under-23 soccer team is called the Satellites. You will be known as the Rolling Rockets, and that is your name. You're doing a great job, I'll tell you, Albert. You're doing such a fantastic work, and would like to be associated with what you're doing. We want to encourage you so you can keep doing this.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll tell you this, we have some wonderful stuff for yourself and your team. Just turn to this side and see what the Zane Touch and Life team has in stock for you. There you go. All this stuff for you. Rolling Rockets. We've got here for you some skates, enough for everybody. We've got gloves for you. We've got the ball there. We've got jerseys for you. We've got protective gear, everything you need to become the champions that you need to be. We have it here for you. We are so proud of you all. But you know what? There's more. One more thing I need to give you guys from the Zane Touch and Life team. Take a look at this one. And you know what this means? What this means is that the Zane Touch and Life team is sending you all on the tour to Nigeria. Wonderful stuff, and indeed it's a wonderful world. Albert and his Rolling Rockets have had their lives touched. They are going out there to blaze the trail. It's your turn to do the same. Touch a life, and make sure that when we meet next week, you have a story to tell. Bye-bye. Next week on Touch and Lives.
Don Bosco Boys Home takes care of the young, needy children.
We must educate the general public about the causes and prevention of blindness.
The Touch and Lives team appreciates those who nominated others and brought their stories to our attention. They don't go away empty-handed.
We can all make a change. Reach out, touch somebody, put a smile on their face, helping out